Hey everybody, it's Janice with Creating Through Chaos, and today we're going to make a super cute sunflower hanger. I'm going to use this printable from my shop and this sign from Dollar Tree from Christmas time. So the first thing I'm going to do is pop those beads off and pop off the glue. I'm going to not affect the buffalo check. I'm just going to go around that and sand and pop off all that excess glue. Next, I'm going to take a few coats of white chalk paint and cover just the center. Again, I'm going to try not to get any on the buffalo check. If I happen to, I'll just repaper it with the buffalo check, but I'm really trying to just leave the buffalo check as is. And I did a few coats of the white. I wanted to make sure that was really covered so that you wouldn't see it through the printable. Next, I cut the printable down to fit that very center part. I'm going to use some Mod Podge and attach that right to the sign. And this doesn't fit all the way across on both sides, so I'm just going to set it into the middle, and then we're going to work around the edges of where the printable is to make it look like it blends into the sign. Just going to smooth that out with my hands, and then I'm going to sand off the excess on the edges once that's fully dry. I'm going to make sure there's no bubbles and no wrinkles. You could use the iron method for this if you wanted to. Now that it's all stuck and sort of dry, I'm going to sand off those edges. I'm just using a sanding block that I got at Dollar Tree. And I love how this is turning out already. I love the buffalo check with the sunflowers. I think it's just a perfect match. Next, I'm going to take some brown wax and just put a little bit on a paintbrush and just go around, like I said, those edges where it didn't quite match up, and get rid of the stark white behind it and kind of blend it with the paper. Next, I'm going to take those pieces that I pulled off, they look like beads. I'm going to take those and lay them on, and now they're a little bit different size than what they were because I swapped the top to the bottom. So now I'm going to need to trim them because they didn't quite fit right to begin with. It was a Dollar Tree sign, so we all know how that goes. Things just don't always look like they're supposed to. I put pencil marks on them and then cut them where they met the edges of the sign. I'm just using these cutters that I got at Home Depot, and I think they have them on Amazon. If you're interested and you want to know what they are, just let me know, and I will put a link in the comments for you. So that one's all set and all cut. I'm going to cut this one. And I'm kind of cutting at an angle because, as you can see, the sign kind of goes at an angle, so I wanted them to be angled with the sign. And that is what Dollar Tree did not do with them, so they kind of hung over the edges. But I mean, it's Dollar Tree, so for $1.25, I can't really complain. But the sign was so super cute, and I wanted to use it for something else. So now I'm just going to take some hot glue and glue those back on. Now that I cut them, and I overlap them a little bit onto the paper. So that you wouldn't see the edges of the paper. And it was like this sign was made for this printable. It is so absolutely adorable. Next, I'm going to put in hanger back on the sign. I didn't use the hanger that was on it because it was really, really short. So I just added my own using some twine. I'm just going to take a piece of twine, pull it through, tie a knot so that it doesn't pull back through, and do the same on the other side, and then obviously trim off the excess. Now that I have the hanger, I'm going to take this bow that I made out of some burlap and some buffalo check ribbon. I'm going to hot glue that right to the top. I ended up hot gluing a yellow button in the center of it just to kind of bring the yellow out from the sunflowers and make it pop. And finally, I took some brown wax and I put it on one of my applicators, and I just kind of went around onto the beads and right around the edge of the sign. I pulled up the bow. I probably should have done this before I put the bow on, but I wasn't really sure if I wanted to. But then I decided that it did look perfect because the cans that all the sunflowers are sitting in kind of have a rusty look to them. So I went a little bit over the printable, kind of blend everything together. And I think this just turned out so super cute. I feel like this printable was made for this sign. And I made it with no intention of it going on this sign. I just happened to have them sitting next to each other in my craft room. And I was like, wow, that's perfect. And here it is all finished. I think this turned out so super cute. I love anything with sunflowers. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this inspires you to make one. And as always, don't forget to spread the chaos.